Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for match 2. Let's go ahead and jump right into the match. If you have any questions about the list or interest in the details and how these particular cards arrived in this particular configuration, go ahead and check out match 1. That's where you'll find all of that amazing information. But for now, let's just go ahead and see what we can do. Alright, let's see what we can get paired against. See if the Hanweir Garrison can take it down. Diotima. Not familiar with this person, but this hand looks fantastic to me. Yeah, we'll keep this for sure. We have the option of going turn 1 Grazer or turn 1 Amulet, depending on what happens. Our opponent mulligans to 5. That's a thing that happens, I guess. I wonder if we can make any inferences on what they're playing. Oftentimes, Dredge is the only deck I can think of that would mulligan to so few cards, unless our opponent is just, of course, unlucky here, and that would be a bit of a shame. But let's put them on a strategy. Maybe they're mulliganing towards certain cards. The decks that I know that mulligan a lot are Infect, Dredge, and Neobrand. Oh, and Bogles, which is probably what we're playing against here with a turn 1 Razorverge they could go. I think it's going to be more important to have this Amulet in play for the time being, so let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully we're not playing against Devoted Druid, although we do have some sideboard cards for that. Solana Ledgewalker. That's not one you see very often. Hexproof and unblockable except by creatures with flying, so this Grazer is not going to represent any additional means for us to save some life points here. So we have 3, using the Grazer up to 4, going down to 1 to cast a Azusa. We go down to 1 mana, 2 more land drops is 5, so I think that we are not able to play a Titan this turn. So I'm going to lead off on Breeding Pool Explorer, and we'll see what happens here. Boom. Explore. Alright, Dryad is a good one. So now we can play Gruul Turf, Grazer into Dryad. I'm into that. We can yield to these Amulet triggers here. We'll pick up the Gruul Turf. Grazer. We'll yield to this one as well. Gruul Turf. Again. And we'll get this Dryad dude right into play. I don't know if we're going to be expecting to crack this Windswept Heath, but we'll go ahead and play it. Keeping it in play represents an additional trigger for Valakut, potentially, and if we get 2 Valakuts in play, then it's an additional 2 triggers, so Spider Umbra, you got it. So the one good thing about playing the Hanweir Garrison version of Amulet is we can get Valakut Garrison and then attack and search for Valakut Vasuva copying Valakut, and that's pretty much just game on the spot, so as long as we're not dead here, we are winning the game. Alright, so we can go Forest Gruul Turf here and keep 4 lands in play, I believe. Alright, let's fetch this Windswept Heath now. So if we get Valakut in Hanweir, that'll be 2 Valakut triggers, and then 2 more Valakuts will be 3 times 2 is 6. That'll be 8 triggers, plus the actual attack from the Primeval Titan. So that's 8 times 3 is 24 damage by itself. So just on the Valakut triggers alone, this is lethal. So, and we are triggering Valakut here because of the fact that we are playing this Forest out first. Dryad makes tapping this mana a little bit awkward. But it's okay, we will make do. So here we'll pick up a Forest. We'll play our dude, and this should just be lethal. We'll get Valakut and our Battlements for the haste. And we will send everything up at them and save those targets. For certain. Save targets. Always yes. Always yield. Okay. Now we haste. That's a lot of abilities, Hanweir Battlements. That is a lot of abilities. Let's just attack with Titan. No reason to attack with our Dryad here. So now we get Valakut and Vesuva. Copying the Valakut we already had in play. Let's just click all these Valakut triggers. It saves the target, so we don't need to worry about where they're headed. We just have to put them on the stack. So if you were wondering what the upside of playing Hanweir Battlements is, this is one of them. Is this Titan basically just wins on the spot as soon as it comes into play. So there we go. Easy peasy. Let's go to game 2. And we're definitely playing against some kind of Bogles style deck. It has Solana Ledgewalker, which is unusual to me, but let's see. We will bring in these Dismembers, I believe, for the core Firewalkers. Not Firewalkers, core Spirit Dancer. Core Spirit Dancers that they may have. We'll bring in Sage. Fire Spout seems bad if they suit up their creature with a bunch of auras, but barring that, Fire Spout should be good. Force of Vigor, obviously. We can trim... Actually, Pact of Negation lets us play around Path to Exile, which is probably relevant. We can trim these Explorers. They're quite slow. This Tracker... I think we can play around Path to Exile in ways other than having a Tracker in play. Let's see. We can trim the Cavern of Souls, because I doubt they're going to be countering our spells. And I guess a Summoner's Pact isn't a bad cut. Maybe a Grazer, but Grazer letting us power out a 3-drop on turn 2 seems pretty good, especially if that 3-drop is Fire Spout. Maybe the Stirrings, but Stirrings helps us find Engineered Explosives or Talari West for said Engineered Explosives. I guess just a Summoner's Pact. We don't want to be tapping out the turn after we play our Titan if it gets pathed, so... They play first. No surprises there. This hand seems pretty good to me. We just need to top deck a Titan, pretty much. Scout. You got it. And we have a Gruul Turf. That's actually not bad at all. Let's go ahead and get this Amulet out there off of the battlements. We don't want to show him a Ghost Quarter in case it is somehow relevant. And we can play turn 2 Dryad into Grazer. Sixth Sense. That's not the most dangerous enchantment in my opinion. It's just whenever they deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So, as long as we're not under any particular clock, we don't care how many cards they draw. There's the Pact of Negation. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this Dryad out. I think we're leaving the Gruul Turf in play. Pick up the Battlements. Here's the Dryad. We'll play the Battlements, and we'll use it to play out this Grazer as well, I think. We could always save the Grazer to pitch to kill 2 enchantments during their turn, but I think we can take 1 hit from this and then kill 2 enchantments, and it'll be fine. We'll be able to hold up Force of Vigor for its full mana's worth of value this upcoming turn anyways, so let's get this Ghost Quarter into play. And we have Titan mana rolled up, even without our Dryad in play. We just need to draw a Titan at this point. Razor Verge Thicket. Okay. Daybreak Coronet. Okay. I mean, I guess we might be chumping with the Grazer here, so we deny them an additional card draw. That doesn't seem bad. Might as well take our block while we got it. Do we want to play out this Dryad? I guess we can do so and keep the Growth Chamber in hand and still be holding up Force of Vigor. So, it seems free to me. This way, we'll be able to interact during their turn while also being able to clock them, because I think that we can attack with the Dryad, and if they block, we can go ahead and fire off this Force of Vigor to kill their Scout. I think they're pretty likely to block here. I don't know, actually. If I were them, I wouldn't block just because it smells fishy, but Like, nobody just attacks into a 4/4 first striking Glade Cover Scout. I say Glade Cover. I'm pretty sure it's a Glade Cover. You know, whatever. It's just a scout. It's a scout. We respect scouts here. Rancor. That's fine. If they cast another enchantment here, we're going to kill the Rancor and the Sixth Sense, so this Daybreak Coronet falls off. Boom. Boom. Green. Some colors. And this one. Very specific technical terms here from our side. They get the Rancor back, which kind of sucks, but I mean, now they are left with a 1/1 scout, so that's not a Titan. I guess we just put our Growth Chamber into play and leave it in play. This lets us use our Pact Negation. We'll attack with everything. No respect for anything our opponent could have. Let's get this damage in while we can. Again, we just need to top deck a Titan and be good. Coronet. Do we want to Pact Negation that one? I guess not. Feel the Dead. Okay. We'll pass it back. We might get to a certain point where we will want to chump block this scout. Although now we're for sure only soaking up 4 damage here, but... Is that good enough? Nah, we don't want them to be able to Path a Dryad and take us off of Valakut triggers, so... Engineered Explosives would still be quite good, killing the Scout, the Rancor, and the Spirit Link. If they play a Umbra that gives their Scout Totem Armor, or an Umbra with Totem Armor, I should say, then Engineered Explosives on one would not actually kill the Scout. It would still kill the Spirit Link and the Rancor, but the Umbra itself would absorb the Destroy effect for the Scout, so it wouldn't get rid of their creature in play. And at this point, we have Titan mana with this Gruul Turf and double Dryad, so if they were to play an Umbra here, I might go ahead and Pact Negation it. Maybe that's dumb, though, because if I draw a Titan, with my current mana setup, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so it's enough to play 2, that's really annoying. Yep, that's fine. It's enough to play 2 Titans, and that is probably enough to kill them outright anyways. The reason we're not Pact Negationing this is because as soon as our Titan comes into play, we just want to get Valakuts anyways. Grazer, not really doing it here. We'll pass it back. No. I don't know if we can do... What is it, 42 damage? I don't know if we can do 42 damage to them in one turn without being able to attack with Titan. Oh, they named Engineered Explosives. That's wild. I mean, that's fine with me. Yeah, we'll block this one for sure. Maybe with just the Grazer, though, then we'll be taking 3 down to 6. That seems fine. Ah, they're gaining twice the life because Spirit Link doesn't stack lifelink triggers. It actually is just a separate instance of life gain. That's interesting. Ledgewalker, we don't care about that one. Titan. That is not Titan. Deck. This is what you were designed to do. I guess if this Pact Negation were a Primeval Titan, we'd be in a lot better shape. So we're kind of getting punished for citing out the Summoner's Pact instead of this Pact Negation. I've been thinking about that from the start, but I don't know. As soon as we get a Titan into play, we have a decent chance, though. Rancor this one. Okay. I mean, this is great for us. We can block the Rancored Solana with a... Oh, wait, this one's unblockable, isn't it? Set by creatures with flying. So we can't block the Solana. So we have to put... We have to absorb all 6 of this damage here. Like this. Yep. Alright, deck. Produce for me off the top a Primeval Titan. That is what we need. Although I don't know that it would be good enough anymore. We the haste both? Fire Spout. Man, that's so close. I guess if we were... No, we can't attack because they'd first strike down our Dryad. Fire Spout allows us to clear the board of the Solana and still block the Glade Cover Scout. So, I mean, we still are casting it for sure. Although they just Rancor this guy and get in for the additional 2 trample damage there, and I think that's all it takes. But I'm going to make them see that line, and we'll go ahead and play out all of our land drops here because, I mean, our only top deck at this point is Primeval Titan, and even that probably won't be good enough. So let's get as many lands into play here as possible. We can pick up the field, I guess, and just replay it, I guess. We'll pass it back. I guess we can Pact No Negation the Rancor if they cast it. And then we'll just die on the spot, so we're dead here. They just have to see the line. They literally have to cast any enchantment that'll give it bonuses to the attack, and we're dead here, so. Here it comes. No? Yes? No? Yes? No? There it is. Okay. A little bit of an unfortunate game 2 there. We just needed any single Titan draw. Maybe we do want the Summoner's Pact after all. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, Bojuka Bog doesn't seem very good against them, so maybe making this switch is going to be good. We could have Tracker as well. I don't hate Tracker. It'd help us draw into our explosives. So let's give that one a shot. I'm not sure that Fire Spout is going to be the move against them, because after a certain point, it doesn't do anything. I don't know, though. I think we can trim 1 Grazer. Actually, let's not. I think getting the turn 2/3 drop is going to be pretty important. Also, I didn't see any cores, so I'm going to bring out a Dismember. Maybe even both. Or do we keep 1 to hedge? I'm not really interested in the rest of these cards, in all honesty, so let's just submit like this. We could have 1 Explorer over the Dismember. I think that's fine. If they do happen to have a core, then we'll just outrace it the way we outrace everything, by putting a bunch of Valakuts into play and triggering them all. This hand has Amulet and a bounce land and a 3-drop, so that's good, but it could just run into the situation that we ran into last game where we never draw a Titan. And even if we do draw a Titan, we still need to set up a turn with Dryad. It's not just enough to get Titan into play, especially since we can't like do the whole double strike thing. Maybe Zeus is not good enough. I think we can't mulligan this though. Like if we find a hand without Amulet, like this hand has everything we need except a Titan. And our Titan can find us, our Titan can find us a Tolari West to get the Dryad anyways. So it's a little bit slower. It's like a turn slower, but I think that it should be effective enough. We just have to draw a Titan, and we have 2 Tolari Wests and 4 Titans and 4 Summoner's Pacts that will get us there. We also have potentially like red land into Fire Spout that would still be good. Titan. Alright, so we have a Titan here. Let's go ahead and get this Azusa in play and make as many additional land drops as possible. And then we will go for the Titan line this upcoming turn. Definitely need to keep our Growth Chamber in hand here. We could Ghost Quarter them, but I don't really see the point, so There's a large spider on the floor over there. All that glitters. That's an interesting one. This almost seems like sort of a budget Bogles list. Nothing wrong with that, for sure. There's Dryad. Well, now we can just do it all, right? We get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 when we get an extra land from the Dryad. That's way more than enough to play Titan and get it attacking and all that good stuff. So I think we just have the nuts here. And that Dryad was an excellent draw. I guess we need to make sure that we have the right number of lands in play for our Titan. So we go down to 1. We have 4, 5, 6, 7 with our land drop. Yeah, we should be good here and be able to keep all of our relevant lands in play. So let's float with this forest. Doesn't matter the color. So this is 6 mana already. 4, 5, 6, yeah. So as long as we have an additional land drop here, which I think we should. We do. And now we can trigger our Valakut as well. So, here's Titan. Here's Titan. We will always yield. And yes to this. We need Valakut and Hanweir. There's that one. And that one. And our opponent should be dead. This is much like game 1. So, yep. They see the line. Alright, well, that was a pretty impressive showing for Hanweir Battlements. I know in previous matches that I've played against Bogles, not necessarily ones that are on the YouTube channel now, it's been very possible to go for the Slayer Stronghold type line and set up for the next turn and then still, be in a bad position, have to chump block with your Primeval Titan or something and not necessarily have the win, especially against like a Path to Exile or something. Like, the strength, one of the biggest strengths of Hanweir, I think, is that you can just kill your opponent the second this guy comes into play. Like, sometimes that can be very difficult. On the Hanweir, all you need is one amulet out, and your Titan just goes and does the thing, right? As long as you can make sure you're triggering Valakut, you get Valakut the Hanweir, you get the second Valakut and the Vesuva, and you just go to town. Like, as soon as it comes into play, like, I can imagine that being very good against Ad Nauseam and Storm as well, where, I mean, you're not really playing around any interaction, like a bounce spell or a kill spell or something, but in those unfair matchups, even matchups like Infect or Devoted Druid, I think that having the Hanweir Battlements in your deck does improve those matchups, which is not something I anticipated. Like I said, this is actually my first time playing Hanweir Battlements, actually, like, for real, in paper or online. I do, like I said, I do own it, but, and when I say like I said, I mean in the, I guess, previous video, I've never actually played it. I never kind of understood the thought process behind it. But I think I'm starting to understand. That's at least one very big upside, other than the mana base, which I was like, why would you sacrifice the power and consistency of having the Slayer Stronghold and the Sunhome to make sure your Titan can do unfair things on double amulet draws just to get a slightly better mana base? But now I see that this gives you some additional freedom in lands. Like, I'm playing a Ketria Triome and a second Valakut, the types, and a fetch land here. I'm playing a couple additional lands that I've never had room to fit in, and I think are reasonable to play. And then on top of that, the Titan just kills your opponent immediately. So I definitely see the draw to playing Battlements. Anyways, I'm going to call this video here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. I definitely did. I didn't realize how easily this line kills. So I'm learning here. Hopefully you are, and I will see you guys for the next video. This is Redface Menace, signing off.